Hello, fellow robots in Internet Land. I am Sobertron, and welcome to the next episode of the TekTopia Survival Guide. In today's episode, we will be discussing everything school, to include the teacher, children, and, of course, Nitwits. Now, since last time, I have been very busy. As taking that hill down a little bit more, I've built a couple more houses back there, changed the tree farm up a little bit, and I've also filled in some of these lakes, mostly because I needed sand. Additionally, I have also got myself fancy diamond boots with feather falling on them. So now we can jump off tall structures and not die. So first up, I off camera got the teacher. She's roaming around somewhere, and I wanted to go over her AI before we got started. So let me find out where she is, and I will be right back. So there are a few reasons why you want to limit how many children are going to your school at any given time, and the first is bed occupancy. Right now we have 5 open beds. There are 3 in this house right here, and there's 2 in that house I've built, but I actually haven't activated yet. So the reason why you want to do this is mostly due to emerald limitations, which you shouldn't have because you've been following my trade in 5 rule. But if you're not, which some of you may not be, you might not have access to all the emeralds you're going to need to purchase professions for these guys. So it's a little pointless to make children go to school and then have them grow up into nitwits for them not to have a job. So that's one reason why to wait. Now, a second reason that you should be waiting is kind of has to do with why I haven't activated this home yet. So when you place hearts down on beds to spawn children, they're not going to necessarily spawn in the bed you placed a heart in. So if I use this bed, placed a heart there, that bed might not turn green. It might turn green in another unoccupied building. So it's an easy way for you to keep track of your current village population. If you only have 5 beds, place 5 hearts, that way you know all the beds are occupied. But for right now, I'm going to wait for the sun to go down and it to be nighttime to talk to you about why it's important, one, to raise children and to have the school early, and 2, why we're going to do this at night. So now that night has fallen, I wanted to explain to you guys why we place hearts on beds right before dawn. It was during beta that a certain somebody, who will remain nameless, brought up an exploit to Tango. So originally, when you placed a child, when you spawned in a child, it had a game tick value on the amount of time it took before they grew up, and on average, it was around 5 days, but it was based on ticks. So a certain somebody, once again, to be named at a later date or never at all, brought up to Tango that if you were playing in your village and you slept the night away every time, you might be able to squeeze out maybe 3 or 4 extra days that your children will be going to the school. So he then went and changed it so that it was based off the day-night cycle directly. So now it's 5 days, 5 nights, and then your children grow up. So we want to maximize them going to school. So what we're going to do first is get your heart token, click a bed. Simple as that. Heart token bed. Heart token bed. So because I haven't activated that other village, all 3 of these beds are going to be taken. So now all we have to do is then go over. The other reason we do this too is because now those guys don't have to walk anywhere. If that home were to be active, you might spawn a child in there and he's going to walk all the way over here. And you don't want kids out in the middle of the night in the bad, bad world of TekTopia. So now that I got a Higgs and a Velour. So I've got a really good friend named Higgs and a really good friend named Makani Velour. So that is really cool that just happened. So now all we have to do is activate our school, which we'll do right now. And then once daybreak comes, I'll show you. That's not the school. Once daybreak comes, I'll show you some of the interactions that the kids have throughout the day. So before we look at these kiddos, I wanted to talk a bit about nomad spawning mechanics and why children are so important. So it's usually around this point when you have 8 or 9 villagers that you notice you're not getting as many nomads. and that is because nomad spawning is directly tied to your village population. So the formula for it is 1 divided by the square root of your population. So we had 9 villagers before we just spawned those children, so I'm going to use that as an easy number. So square root of 9 is 3, 1 divided by 3 is 33.3%. So you have a 33.3% chance of spawning your first nomad. Now after that, it's a flip of a coin. Heads, you get another nomad. Tails, you don't. And it just continues on like that until you get a tails, and then you don't get any more nomads. But because as your village grows, that percentage decreases over time. That is what makes hearts so important. So now let's go look at our kids. So we've arrived at one of our homes with our new children, and oh, it's a Higgs Paspinal. So for those of you out there, Paspinal is also one of the TekTopia staff members on the public Discord. So if you're interested in learning more about the mod or you get stuck, make sure you visit that Discord. So as you can see, little girl went off in a quick hurry, and Higgs over here is not happy. So right now they're going to school. Sometimes they want to go, and other times, like Higgs over here, they just don't. So they will mope there, they will walk slowly, and it is important to know. It's not affected by anything, it's a random chance, but it's important to know because it's less time they're in school, and you can see the education bubble going off on one of these girls up front. It means that they're not getting as much intelligence. Once school's over, I'm going to come back and I'll show you another thing that happens with children as they're wandering around the village today. So I finally tracked down a child that actually is showing the thing I wanted to show. And it was our good friend and slacker, Higgs Paspinal. So, children occasionally can skill up if they're around another villager who skills up. So Higgs was in school near the teacher gained a skill point, so Higgs also gained a skill point. The reason why that's important is because let's say you have a bigger school, you're doing 12 children at a time, and you wanted to make 5 of them farmers. You could then go around, find the ones that actually gain skill as a farmer, and then use your farmer tokens on those villagers. But for now, the next bit I need to show you as Nitwits, so I'm going to have to spend some time AFKing, waiting for these kids to grow up, and I will be back shortly. So it's been a little bit, and our children have grown up into Nitwits, and I find that it's best to actually assign them a profession when it's nighttime. That way you don't have to go hunting around for them. As you can see, they're actually already in bed. So the first thing I tend to do is to look and see what the intelligence is of all my Nitwits. I've already gone and done that, so I know that Tanikaviller, sure, is has the highest intelligence. So I want to take the highest intelligence person and make them a rancher, because I'm planning on doing that next episode, and I want a good rancher. So one thing that I haven't explained yet, and some people don't know, is that based off what their intelligence is, it's going to determine their skill level in the profession you assign them. So this is going to be a value of either 50% up to 100% of their current intelligence. So at a minimum, she will end up being a level 23 rancher and up to a level 46 rancher. So let's see if we get lucky. 35, not bad, not bad. One other thing, if you notice, even though they're sleeping in these beds, they're actually yellow. Something goes on in the game code when a child who has a green bed grows up to be a nitwit. They'll go back to the same house, but their beds will be yellow. Easy way to fix it, log out and log back in. It's as simple as that. So Higgs, even though he was our slacker, was our second highest person. So this is going to be henceforth known as the rancher house. Ooh, also very good skill on that one. Our other nitwits, they weren't as smart. I think they're mostly in the teens. 18, 27, not bad. Oh, 36, never mind. I was wrong. So I did want to get another lumberjack and another farmer. And I want a good farmer. 26, okay. And then we will make, actually this one, the lumberjack. Lumberjack skill up fast. For Rosemorn? That's a good name. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make her the cook or the blacksmith. So we're just gonna leave her alone right now. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the day. I hope you enjoyed the episode. See you next time.